Welcome to Bethel Online Education Hub. Learn anytime, anywhere. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more. Let's learn together the Bethel way. Welcome to our Earth and Life Science class. It's wonderful to see all of you here today as we officially begin our very first learning journey together. This subject isn't just about memorizing terms and definitions. It's about understanding the world around us, discovering how things work, and asking big, meaningful questions about life, nature, and the universe itself. This learning adventure promises to be fun, interesting, and meaningful. Each lesson will help you gain new knowledge and, more importantly, appreciate the beauty and mystery of the world we live in. Together, we'll explore concepts that might seem ordinary at first, but are actually filled with wonder when we take a closer look. To start off, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what's out there? Have you ever asked yourself, what is everything around us made of? Where did it all come from? How did the Earth, the Sun, the Moon, and all those countless stars in the sky come to be? If those questions have ever crossed your mind, then you're in the right place, because today, we're going to dive into one of the most fascinating and important topics in science: the origin and structure of the Earth, the universe, and our solar system. Imagine traveling back in time, not just a few years or centuries, but billions of years ago, when there was no Earth, no sun, no planets, and not even people. There was only a vast, silent darkness. Then something extraordinary happened, a powerful event known as the Big Bang. From that moment on, everything we know today, stars, galaxies, planets, and eventually life itself, began to take shape. In our lesson today, we'll take an exciting journey from that unimaginable beginning to our tiny yet beautiful planet, Earth. We'll explore how the universe came to be, how our solar system formed, and how Earth became the perfect home for life as we know it. As we go through this topic, stay curious, ask questions. Wonder about the things you see, feel, and experience. There's no such thing as a silly question in science. Every question matters, and every discovery begins with someone brave enough to ask. So, get ready to be amazed, to learn, and to have fun. Let's open our minds, spark our curiosity, and make the most of this learning experience together. Once again, welcome to Earth and Life Science, and let's begin our adventure. Now that we're starting to talk about the origin of everything, let's ask an important question. What exactly is the universe? Well, the universe is everything that exists. It includes all of space and time, all matter and energy. That means galaxies, stars, planets, moons, and even black holes. But it's not just made up of physical objects. It also includes the invisible forces and natural laws that hold everything together and keep it in motion. To help you imagine it, think of the biggest thing you can possibly picture in your mind. Now, realize that the universe is even bigger than that. It's so huge, it's almost beyond imagination. Some parts of the universe are so far away that even if light from those places started traveling toward us the day you were born, it still wouldn't have reached Earth by now. In fact, the part of the universe we can observe is estimated to be about 93 billion light-years across, and it's still expanding as we speak. Yes, the universe keeps growing, faster and faster. Now, what exactly makes up the universe? Scientists have discovered something really surprising about it. The things we can actually see, like you, me, the Earth, the stars, and other planets, only make up about 5% of the entire universe. That's right, just 5%. A much larger 27% is something called dark matter. We can't see dark matter directly, but we know it's there because of the way it pulls on the things we can see with its gravity. It helps hold galaxies together and affects how they move. But here's the most mysterious part. About 68% of the universe is made up of something called dark energy. Scientists believe this dark energy is a strange, invisible force that's causing the universe to expand faster and faster over time. And to this day, No one fully understands what dark energy is, so the next time you look up at the night sky, remember, those stars you see are just a tiny fraction of what's really out there. The universe is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. Now that we've talked about the universe, let's take a moment to understand a special branch of science that studies it. It's called cosmology. So, what is cosmology? Cosmology is the branch of science that focuses on the origin, structure, evolution, and ultimate fate of the entire universe. In simple terms, cosmologists are the scientists who ask the really big questions, like, how did the universe begin? What is it made of? How has it changed over time? And maybe the biggest one of all, what might happen to the universe in the future, too? Find answers to these questions, cosmologists use tools from physics, astronomy, and mathematics. They study things like the Big Bang Theory, cosmic background radiation, dark matter, and dark energy, those mysterious forces and materials that make up most of the universe but can't be seen directly now. You might wonder, what's the difference between cosmology and astronomy? Well, while cosmology looks at the universe as a whole, its history, its structure, and its destiny, astronomy focuses more on individual objects like stars, planets, or galaxies. In other words, cosmology asks, where did it all come from and where is it going? So how do scientists believe the universe began? Most scientists today believe in a theory called the Big Bang Theory. This theory suggests that about 13.8 billion years ago, the entire universe began from a tiny, hot, and extremely dense point known as a singularity, but don't picture it like a bomb exploding in the middle of empty space. In fact, it wasn't an explosion at all. It was space itself rapidly expanding in all directions. At first, everything, all the energy, matter, and even space and time was squeezed into one unimaginably small point. Then, in a fraction of a second, the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. As it expanded, it also cooled down. This allowed tiny particles to form, like protons, neutrons, and electrons. About hundreds of thousands of years later, those tiny particles combined to form the very first atoms, mainly hydrogen and helium. Over time, gravity pulled these atoms together and they started to form the first stars and galaxies. Those stars lived, died, and created new elements, eventually leading to the formation of planets, including our very own Earth. And so, from a tiny, hot, and dense point billions of years ago, the universe grew into the vast, beautiful, and mysterious place we see today. Isn't that amazing? And yet, even now, there's still so much we don't know, which is why cosmology continues to be one of the most exciting and important fields of science. Now that we've talked about the Big Bang Theory and how scientists believe the universe began, let's answer an important question. How do we know this actually happened? What evidence do scientists have to support the Big Bang? Well, there are three key pieces of evidence that strongly support the Big Bang Theory. First, the cosmic microwave background, or CMB. This is a faint glow of heat energy left over from the Big Bang. It fills every part of the universe and was discovered in 1965. It's like the leftover heat from a fire that burned billions of years ago, a kind of fingerprint that tells us the universe was once extremely hot and dense. Second, the redshift of galaxies. When scientists look at distant galaxies, they notice that their light is stretched out, or redshifted. This means those galaxies are moving away from us. And if everything is moving away, it suggests the universe itself is expanding, just like the Big Bang Theory predicts. Third, the abundance of light elements. The amounts of simple elements like hydrogen and helium found throughout the universe match what scientists expected if the Big Bang happened. In fact, about 75% of the universe's normal matter is hydrogen and about 24% is helium, numbers that perfectly line up with Big Bang calculations. Now, while the Big Bang Theory is the most widely accepted explanation, there have been other ideas to about how the universe began. One of them is the steady-state theory. This theory suggested the universe had no beginning or end and always stayed the same, with new matter constantly forming as the universe expanded. But when scientists discovered the cosmic microwave background, this theory lost support because it couldn't explain that leftover heat from the Big Bang. Another interesting idea is the oscillating universe theory. This theory proposes that the universe goes through endless cycles. It would expand in a Big Bang, then someday contract in a big crunch, collapsing back into a tiny, dense point, and then start expanding again. But for now, observations show the universe is actually expanding faster and faster, so scientists consider a big crunch very unlikely. Now, let's zoom in from the universe to our own cosmic neighborhood, the solar system. Our solar system is made up of the Sun, 8 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, along with their moons. It also includes asteroids, which mostly orbit in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, comets with icy tails, and small space rocks called meteoroids. And where is our solar system located? It's inside the Milky Way galaxy in a spiral arm called the Orion Arm, one small part of an enormous galaxy filled with billions of other stars and planets. Isn't it amazing how our tiny solar system is just one small corner of this vast, incredible universe?
Now, how did our solar system form? Scientists have come up with several ideas, but the nebular theory is the most widely accepted. According to this theory, about 4.6 billion years ago, a giant cloud of gas and dust collapsed because of gravity. As it collapsed, it spun faster and flattened into a disk. The sun formed at the center, while the rest of the material clumped together to form the planets. Another idea is the encounter theory. This theory suggested that the sun once passed very close to another star, and the gravitational pull between them drew out material that later formed the planets. But scientists now consider this unlikely because close encounters between stars are extremely rare. Finally, there's the protoplanet theory, which suggests that small clumps within the spinning disk bumped into each other, merged, and gradually built up into the planets we have today. So to summarize everything we learned today, the universe is everything that exists: space, time, matter, and energy, and it's mostly made up of invisible stuff called dark matter and dark energy. Cosmology is the science that studies how the universe began, how it has changed, and what might happen to it in the future. The Big Bang theory is the best explanation for how the universe began, supported by evidence like the cosmic microwave background, the redshift of galaxies, and the amounts of light elements in the universe. And finally, our solar system likely formed from a collapsing cloud of gas and dust about 4.6 billion years ago. All right, class, before we wrap up, thank you so much for your attention, effort, and curiosity today. We've explored some of the biggest mysteries in science: how the universe began, what it's made of, and how our tiny solar system came to be. I hope this lesson sparked your imagination and reminded you that while we may be small in the universe, our curiosity and questions are limitless. Great job today, everyone, and see you in our next lesson.